Oh, alright. It's been a minute, but welcome back to my shit show called My Channel, where I talk about useless NASCAR shit that no one cares about and people hate on me for, because it's my opinion and how I view some of these races, because they've been a shit show lately, and the drama consistently grows, and I love it. And apparently, this is gonna be a long video. Um, I didn't record anything about the All-Star race because it was absolutely horrible. The track itself is just terrible. Um, Texas sucks. Like, the race itself wasn't, like, awful, but the track itself is. And should never have the All-Star race there ever, ever, ever again, because you cannot fucking pass. You can't pass. And the PJ1 did literally nothing on that track. So, there's that. But moving on. There's going to be a trend here in this video of me ranting about a driver that I hate more than life itself. Yeah, and I know you're going to be like, don't say hate, it's a strong word. I'm like, I don't give a flying shit. It's my opinion, and clearly no one gives a shit about opinions anymore in this fan base unless you, like, bow down and kiss his feet and act like he's, like, all holy and mighty and can do no wrong and deserves to be in Hendrick equipment, and you all know who I'm talking about. And then continuously shit on my driver at the same time. So, I'm going to get into that. Larson, he's a piece of shit. Gotta say that now. If you don't like that, I don't really give a flying hoo-ha. I don't really care. I'm looking like a hot mess right now, so forgive me. But the last month has been literally centered around the 5. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. All I'm saying is, like, that Hendrick Motorsports, yes, has been, like, killing it this year. They have 8 wins. 8 wins. 4 of them have come from Larson. Repeat that. From Larson. And have won the last 3. 3 races. Not 4, 3. To the dumb people who continuously think the All-Star race counts. And when I say always been, it was 4 straight wins. No, 3. 3, 3, 3, 3. 3. Get that through your heads, people. And I hate the, like, the analysts are like, he's so much better than everyone else, basically, and he's like a notch above all his teammates, but or it's just like they all have somewhere the equal setups and equipment, but yet Larson is like 5 miles per hour or 10 miles per hour faster than everyone else on his team and has a perfect car every week. But everyone else, like, has to struggle to get to the top 5 or the top 10. Like, everyone else has issues, but Larson does not make any goddamn sense. You might think I'm sounding crazy right now, but you need to literally see the big picture here. Chase got DQ'd for lug nuts. Lug nuts. And he made a valid question on his Twitter. Like, he called NASCAR out, basically. Like, if the tire had come off and we had crashed, would I have kept the stage points? Like, NASCAR doesn't really give a shit unless they're throwing someone under the bus that isn't part of the problem. Like, the lug nuts is a pit crew issue, not a driver issue. Why penalize the driver for a pit crew problem, like a tire changer problem? And apparently in the rule book, it clearly states, and it's written there and everyone knows it, that people purposely loosen up the lug nuts and it's not safe. I'm like, obviously it's not safe, but why would people do that on fucking purpose? knowing that they're going to get caught in the end. How stupid is NASCAR to make that fucking rule? Like, oh, 5 or more, you have to get DQ'd. Like, no. They can be penalized, like fined or whatever, or find someone on the crew who made that mistake, which is the tire changers. Like, what? But why penalize the driver at all? Penalize the crew, like, find them, like, that, like, what, that golf amount of money, or suspend them for like a week or two. But why penalize the driver for something that is out of his control? It's not like the crew goes out and purposely misses, like, and not tightens up these lug nuts. Crews are not perfect. I'm not saying they are all perfect. They have to be perfect. But none of them go and purposely think, hey, let's not loosen up these lug nuts so the tire can fall off and we get a shitty finish. Like, why DQ a guy who finished 13th because he felt that he had a loose wheel, but ended up still driving it home in the top 15 without losing the tire? Explain that to me. And then Alex Bowman struggled all damn day, and he was like nowhere to be found. Byron, no one talked about fucking Byron all fucking day. It was all about Larson. Mr. I'm perfect and better than everyone else. Well, according to his fan base, that's the case. And according to his fan base, you can't dislike him because you can't dislike him. Why do you hate him so much? There's nothing to hate about him. He's so talented. He's so great. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no. We don't have to like drivers that we don't want to like. We have personal opinions on who we like as a driver and who we don't. I'm not doubting I'm not doubting his talents behind the wheel. He's incredibly talented. I'm not doubting that. Ever since he's come into the Cup Series, he's made stupid comments about NASCAR in general. Basically said after he won the All-Star race that he was so glad that Chase had a bad run there at the end. He was glad that his teammate was running poorly compared to him, Mr. Perfect. And during the 2016 or whatever, the All-Star Open, that battle between him and Larson, like Chase and Larson, the interview he made after he won the Open, like slightly beating Chase, like, I had to do what I had to do to win because I knew Chase was going to make it in on fan vote. Like, if I didn't, I wouldn't even have been a blimp on anyone's radar. It's like, what? And then he accused Hendrick Motorsports like 2 years ago of cheating, but yet now he's on Hendrick Motorsports. Think about that, people. And he said along the lines, Daytona 500 is not important to win as much as the Chili Bowl, because Chili Bowl was way more important and dirt racing better. Kind of, in hindsight, is basically what he said. After he won his Chili Bowl, which I think is all stupid. Anyway, I'm not a big fan of dirt racing. I'm not. So, don't come at me. Coffee. But the fact is, they keep, like, these analysts like, oh, the Hendrick cars are running so great. They're all equal, and everyone's trying to match what Hendrick is doing right now. I'm like, is it Hendrick as a whole, or is it just Larson? Is it just Larson? Like, Bob Pockrass made the stupid comment and, like, asked, like, is he the new road course king? No. He won once, barely beating Chase on a road course. I don't expect Chase to win every single one of them, but the fact that, like, Larson wins one and he's automatically the road course master. People can drive well on them and not win a single one of them, but to make them the road course master. Chase currently is the road course master among current active drivers in the Cup Series. 6 wins on a road course. Half of his career wins on a road course. But Chase can win on any type of track. He's won on short track. He's won on mile track. He's won on intermediates. He's won on super speedways and road courses. Even new track like Daytona road course and the Roval. So I don't want to hear it. One win on the road course doesn't make you the road course master. By barely edging out Chase by like 3/10, like barely 2/10 of a second. Like, I just find it odd that it's like all the attention. I'm not whining, complaining about my driver not getting any attention whatsoever because he's not having any success or whatever. I'm just like, he's having plenty of success, whether people knows that or not. I'm glad Hendrick as a whole is running better and like running really well this season and looking like contenders every single week. But I just don't like the clear favoritism through from Hendrick into Larson because he's pushing so hard for Larson because the lack of sponsorship, all this shit, because he has to do the comeback story, a century thing for Hendrick Motorsports in the 5 car, and Larson who said something stupid on his own and ruined his own fucking career, but was handed this little gem of Hendrick on a silver platter. You don't have to agree with me. I don't really give a shit. I think he was handed this as on a silver platter. Didn't deserve it. And people are like, CGR was such bad equipment and this. And I'm like, yeah, I have such bad equipment. Why did he win 6 times with CGR? And don't tell me it's the equipment, because it's not. Hendrick and CGR equipment are quite similar. Yeah, even though CGR is not running as well as they should this year, they have Hendrick engines inside those cars. People don't seem to put that together. People are like, oh, but it's the car. It's not the car. It's the driver. And I'm like, is it though? Is it? The car makes a big goddamn difference. But even in some cases, that's not the case. When Suarez was thrown into JGR, he didn't do jack shit with that. He didn't win a single race, and he still hasn't won a single race. Never made the playoffs, especially with Stewart-Haas Racing. Both top-tier teams who are both technically struggling this year. Just notice that. But Larson comes in and he's magically bet like 10 times better than the rest of his team, like the rest of the organization. How does that make any sense to anyone or logically make any sense? Like, Chase fans are just salty because he's not winning and he's getting outshined by a better driver. I'm like, Larson is not a better driver. I'm going to tell you that right now. He's still about as average as you can get, but in superior equipment. It's like saying it's impressive that Busch is winning all these races in Xfinity when he's going up against minors. Like in the minor leagues. 100 wins the Xfinity race in Xfinity is not a hard feat, especially for Busch when he's in superior equipment with his Cup crew. And someone's like, but these other drivers have Cup pit crews and stuff like that. But yeah, but they're series regulars. These drivers are series regulars. Kyle Busch is not. I'm aware that some of the other Xfinity drivers have Cup pit crews, but that doesn't make their advantage any more above anyone else in the field, like Busch has onto the rest of the field with JGR. And I'll get to that in a little bit. But they're like, oh, Larson's just better. He's just better. No, the car's just better. Realize that. That's just the car. What was his excuse at CGR when he won 6 races? Car. Similar engine. Put 2 and 2 together, people. He screwed up last year and cost himself a ride at CGR. And people are like, oh, I'm so glad he said what he said last year. I'm like, no one should be proud of that. Don't be proud of that. That's how ignorant this goddamn fan base is. They give him a slap on the wrist for saying something stupid and ignorant and insensitive. But if anyone else said that shit, anyone else said the exact same thing, they would be sacrificed and canceled immediately. But not their golden boy. Not golden boy Larson. Because God forbid the dirt racer gets anything more than a slap on the wrist for what he did last year. Just saying. Like, you cannot tell me that Hendrick is not putting more effort, time, and energy into the 5 car more than anyone else on his team. I'm just spitting ball in here. That's just my theory. I don't give a shit if you agree with it or not. It's my theory. It's an opinion. Don't matter if you like it or not. I don't care if you agree with it or not. My theory is he's putting more time and energy into this 5 car, which is why he's been running out of his world like 10 times faster than and more perfect than all the other Hendrick cars in the field. Like every other car, like it's like it's too loose, too tight, pit road stuff and shit like that happening. But Larson, not a single bad thing happens to him. It's like just push, and oh look, we win by 5 fucking seconds. But you don't want to hear that, do you? This fan base is so toxic. You can't dislike Larson because he's such a good driver, and you can't have an opinion that doesn't match theirs because it doesn't make you a real fan. If you can't agree that sometimes we're allowed to not like races. That's an opinion. We are allowed to be critical of races. We don't have to like every single one of them. And we don't have to like every single driver. Every driver is flippin' talented in what they do on that racetrack, whether in their underfunded teams or top tier teams. They all have talent and are there for a reason. Whether they're competitive or not, they're there to race. And they have the talent to be there. But talent alone doesn't make me like a driver. I like Chase because of his personality and the way he handles himself. He's laid back. He's one of the down home, old Southern boy kind of drivers. Keeps to himself. Stays out of pretty much all the drama. It's not fake like some of these drivers are and put on a show. And sometimes he has an attitude. And he'll push back when he needs to. Without any repercussions. And I love it. Like when he basically called out NASCAR over Twitter. Like, what if I wrecked? Do I still keep my stage points? Like, he's still top 5 within, like, overall season. Under now Byron by 13 points. But I still think it's very fucking odd that Larson's the only one without any issues week in and week out. But every other driver in the Hendrick camp has issues. Mechanical issues, engine issues, or pit road issues. But not Larson, because he's Mr. Perfect. Right? Right? Like, basically dominated the 600. Dominated last week. And the week before that. We get it, he's good, but he's not God. Stop making us kiss his ass. just because you think he has such a great personality and he's such a great driver. Why shit on another driver's teammate at all? Like, what's the point? Larson fans need just to keep to themselves and stop talking shit on Chase for no fucking reason. Everyone acts like, oh, Chase is the golden boy, everything's handed to him on a silver platter, and NASCAR favors him, but yet they disqualified his finish. Tell me how they favor him at all. They tried to disqualify his finish last year at Talladega. Remember that one where Danny Hamlin got away with basically murder and by passing underneath the yellow line? And NASCAR's like, oh, whatever. But everyone else gets penalized because they were forced down there. But Hamlin, it's Toyota. We're not going to give that a free pass. So, what do I know, right? I've only been a fan for, 24 years? 24 years. Basically almost a quarter of my life. So, you gotta love this fan base, though. They're obnoxious as hell. And people, assume he's, Mr. Invincible. Like, oh, every week it's gonna be Larson. Larson. Oh, yeah, let's watch as he crumbles under the pressure at Pocono. It won't be so easy. I doubt he dominates that race. I highly doubt it. Because Pocono sucks and don't deserve 2 races, let alone 1. So, this weekend don't expect much because it's going to be a very fucking boring race. The races coming up are just going to be, I don't even know anymore. And if someone made a tweet's like, it's unfortunate that Chase fans find it some races this season that would be unwatchable because Chase got DQ'd. I'm like, yeah, because everything has to do with Chase, right? Every reason why we don't like a certain race is because Chase didn't win. You guys love to stir up the drama and stir shit up over Chase and his fans. I'm a Chase fan. Do I get butthurt when he doesn't win? No. When he has a solid run, I appreciate it and he got stage points and had a good day. If he didn't win, that's fine. I'm not going to cry about it. We don't cry about it. Seems like you guys do, though. Like the haters who kiss Larson's feet or Bush's feet or whatever driver you follow act like we are nut jobs anytime he loses, when it seems like you guys cry about it more than anyone else in the series. But I do want to say that some Chase fans can be a little obnoxious when it comes to his pit crew. You mean the fastest pit crew in the series? Huh. But yet want to cry wolf oh, fire his pit crew, fire Allen, do this, do that. Yeah, let's fire a championship winning crew chief and pit crew. Realize every champion in the field is not perfect. Neither is their pit crew. You want to call them all out and say they need to be fired too? But no, it's just Chase because everyone loves this. It's easy to shit on Chase because he's Mr. Popular. He's the reigning champ, and people expect, oh, Mr. Champ can't win races. Go figure. It's because NASCAR helped him along the way. It's no. It's no matter the situation, Chase always gets brought up. It has nothing to do with him. It's like, oh, what if Chase did that? And blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what does Chase have to do with this situation? What does this have to do with anything about Chase? Nothing. But when he gets DQ'd, it's like, well, they're cheaters and shit. Yeah, because they intended to go in there and cheat for a 13th place finish. Where's your logic? And someone even said, like, you would, like, risk, like, a tire comes off, you're gonna risk a spectator getting seriously injured or killed, and you would, if you just pit, you wouldn't, like, something along those lines, like, you would ruin your teammates' dominance to victory and shit like that. Realize the dominant car doesn't always fucking win. Realize that. And also, realize, why does Jace give a flying fuck about his teammates' dominating performance to another stupid victory? Why does he give a shit about his teammate? Larson doesn't give a shit about any of his teammates. He's tried to wreck all of them. Did something stupid during this Coke 600 by blocking Chase on pit road, basically. Doing that stupid stunt on pit road, which made a little bit no difference, because, again, he was untouchable and couldn't pass or shit, because Larson's Mr. Perfect. But what do I know? I'm just a Chase fan who's uneducated and toxic and crazy, right? But Larson was like, Larson's better than Chase, just admit it, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, better? No. Because guess what? Who holds that champ title right now over Larson's head for the rest of his life? Chase holds that champ title. Reigning champ, defending champion of the Cup Series over Larson's head. Larson has a tendency to choke at important times, even in the playoffs. He doesn't run well in the playoffs, so don't get your hopes up, okay? So a lot of racing to do. She's gonna come back and show NASCAR you fucked up. Also, I want to say welcome back to Eddie DeHaan. He got reinstated and was back at the track being Chase's spotter over the weekend at Nashville, which is awesome because I missed his voice because it's so iconic. That's all he needed. He needed some prayers and some guidance, and look where he is. He came back. We're good. Like, people were like, oh, I want Trey Poole back. Like, yeah, like, Trey was great and all, but he just didn't have that same, like, oomph that Eddie has. Like, I'm not shitting on Trey. He's a cool dude. He was good at spotting, but he just doesn't have that same energy that I'm looking for when it comes to Eddie DeHaan. So he'll be like, haul ass and go, 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 go. Door, bumper clear. Okay, go, go. Take it. It's just the little things that he says and, like, the energy he puts into it is fucking great. But that's just my theory on things. Like, this fan base is just so toxic as hell that I can't even begin to, like, list the amount of stupidity I see online these days. I just, like, the racing overall at Nashville was entertaining, but it didn't really do much for me as a, like, the opening ceremonies were, like, killer. They gave me, like, America kind of vibes, because in Nashville, and it's like they're patriotic as shit. But the race itself was decent, not overall super great. Even though NASCAR screwed the pooch yet again. But, yeah. Going to Pocono, the worst tracks ever in the entire goddamn series. So, but anyway, personal life update. Still on the waiting list for an apartment. So I've been, like, kind of slowly and surely, like, cleaning up my room, like, decluttering it. I can't put right there, my pantry right there, like, all that. I cleaned that out with all the useless junk that accumulated over the past few years. That's emptied out. Cleaned out my cabinets. Right. I can't point, so right there. Cleaned out my medicine cabinet and vitamins and whatever. I've packed up some boxes already just to get a head start. Just so when it does come that time for me to like get up, I can just get up and go. I just have to worry about taking all the shit off my walls and packing that in a safe manner, especially my die casts. My championship die cast is coming today or tomorrow. Super excited. I got my Coda Win t-shirts. So waiting on a couple hats. So there's that. And I talked to the guy from Phoenix Raceway who calls and updates me, and like I'm gonna become a season ticket holder eventually, and full capacity at Phoenix this championship weekend. Get to go back in the infield, enjoy pre-race activities, and without worry in the world, and I love it. Getting back to normal, and I love it. And I'm set for the spring race in March, so I'm super excited about that. What else? I also helped my sister move into her new apartment, which is awesome for her. Just helping family members out any way I can is like just absolutely awesome. So, like, now it's time for me to get my shit together. I need to go through this room and just like, I need to clean it as much as possible. It's slowly but surely getting there, but there's a lot to do. So, got family coming in a couple weeks for 4th of July weekend. I'm going on vacation, so that week I won't be posting a video. Like, after the 4th, I won't be posting a video an entire week. Taking that off. I'm going to just take a break from social media in general that entire week and just enjoy my vacation. I'm going to San Diego, my hometown. Going to Mission Bay. Celebrate an early birthday for me, my sister's birthday, my cousins, and my mom's. So, I'm super excited to get some time off from work because it's been a little bit stressful. And, yeah. That's basically it. Yeah, so I'm gonna end it right here. It's like shorter than I usually like my video. Don't like my videos being this short, but we have a lot more to say. But it was just a little thing I had to get off my chest because it's just been an obnoxious month of racing that I just had to get off my chest a little bit, my opinions and shit like that. So let's start this week off good. The week has already started. It's my Monday for work. I have to make it through 2 more work weeks and I'm outie to Cali. So I'm getting my fitness on. I've been working out a little bit at home. Seeing a lot of changes already. Feeling better. Not quite where I want to be yet body-wise, but I'm getting there. They're like, oh, but you're so skinny already. I'm like, I just don't feel good about my body. I'm just trying to tone up and get rid of some unneeded fat in certain areas that I don't want to be. So, and it's hot as flipping balls out here in Arizona. It's triple digits. It's going to be until October. So, pray for me because it's a rough one. Because during work the other day, I had the worst headache I've ever experienced my entire life, to the point where I couldn't focus on anything else but my head. It was pounding so hard that I thought I was going to pass out onto the floor and just knock out. It lasted for a good 2 hours, and I was about to like punch a wall. It was just that bad. Like, no amount of water or Gatorade I was drinking helped whatsoever. I had to take like a massive, like extra pain, like reliever, just to subside it. And it was a caffeine headache, like more like a caffeine migraine, because it was so bad. I got to the point where I was crying because it hurt so bad. So, no, I'm not dehydrated. It's just I have get really bad caffeine headaches because I rely on it so much for work because I work the graveyard through sunrise shifts. So I gotta get back to whatever I was doing, which was basically scrolling through TikTok. So, and finishing my coffee. So, let's stop with the drama this week. Stop shitting on Chase. And let's continue to dislike Larson because I'm annoyed with him. That's it.